Okay, so now we're done with the biological self. We move to the social self. Although there are a lot of PowerPoints sent by the different groups already from by the group 3 to be exact, we have to I still have there's a need for me to recap everything upon hearing your presentations or upon watching the presentation of group 3. So we are now in the lecture for the social self. So basically the social self is the authentic self that is being influenced by the environment. So that means the social agents are included in this lecture. But before going further for the agents influencing the social self, let us define the three major factors that contribute to the meaning of social self. First, we have the self knowledge, which is the self concept, and then we have the interpersonal self, which is the public self, and then we have the agent self, which is used in defining the executive function of the social self. So that means executive function has something to do with decision making. It has something to do with the knowledge on and skills on self control, and it's taking charge of situations, and it is also active in responding to social circumstances. And when we say self knowledge or self concept, it has something to do with information about the self, and it is more on self awareness, it is more on self esteem and self description. And then for the interpersonal self, we have the public self. So that means it is a self presentation as perceived by the public. And yourself, you define yourself as a member of a group, or you define yourself as in relation to your partner, to your peers, to your social roles, and to your profession and reputation in the society. So, self knowledge or self concept, interpersonal self or public self, agent self or executive function of the self are three major elements or factors or principles that could help you define that can help you define your social self. So basically, there are agents in the development of your social self. First is your family. So the family is the smallest social agent that would influence and help you shape yourself. So basically, the social self, the foundation of the social self are the practices, the values, the traditions that are developed inside your home. So how you were raised by your family, by your parents, is part of your social self, or how were you influenced by how you were treated by your siblings is part of the development of your social self, and how your home as a family is also part or also contribute to your social self. So when you go out of your home, the school will become also your social agent, and the school influences a lot in terms of the skills and knowledge you get from your teachers and your classmates. So apart from your school, you also have your church. No, your parents will take you on a Sunday masses, and then you also are being influenced by the priest or your friends whom you meet during Sundays. These are the different agents that would contribute to the development of your social self. So as you grow up, your school, your church, when you get to the malls or when you get to some places wherein you gather yourself with the other people, these are also contributory to the development of yourself as a social self. So as you grow up and when you land a job, then your workplace is also a social agent towards the development of your social self. your government, until such time you come up with a bigger and macrocosmic system wherein you are involved. So these are the different social agents, your organization. It could be a non-government and government, your advocacies, the group wherein you have the same advocacies with other people, that could also be part of, or social agents that could be contributory to the development of your social self. So this is how your social self is being influenced and developed as you grow up. So you start describing yourself in terms of your personal perception or your family perception. And then finally, you start defining yourself or describing yourself in terms of the social influences that you get from your environment, immediate or non-immediate environment. And then it covers your gender roles, it covers your ethnicity, it covers your social identity, and then it covers your identity in the group, or it covers your identity as a member of a particular group. So this is the development of your social self. So basically, when you develop your social self, you look into the culture, you look into the groups wherein you are involved to, you look into the organizations wherein you involve yourself with, and the different roles that you get from this different social agents. Okay, so definitely, your social self development is founded on in the arts, philosophy, science, culture, religion, and history. And also, of course, it affects you psychologically, and it develops the influence of the different social agents into yourself develops psychological perception that you can develop out of their perception. So definitely from the influences that you get from your social environment, you begin to develop a belief that you possess that which you possess about yourself. Okay, so we have to know that the self is not just the body. We have learned this from the philosophical self, which we have learned it's a body, it is an evolutionary, it's a body that's evolving, it is material and non-material until it reaches its non-material or spiritual aspect. And to include, uh, there's a self, no, in terms of its psychological meaning, and it also talks about the psychological meaning, full personal possessions, and personal space that a human person can have. So it is extended beyond the physical self, which is the body, and it goes to the space as far as we can imagine. Okay, so what's important about knowing your social self is that you give a distinction on how your family looks at you, on how you look at yourself first, and then how your family looks at you, and how the people around you looks at you, how the people in the workplace look at you, and how the different organizations in the society look at you. If you can give distinction, and you know how you have how you should be aware of the self of your authentic self from the very beginning, then you can't get lost even if you meet with the different organizations with different cultures and different traditions and different beliefs and different practices. Okay, what you have, the most intelligent decision about this is that when you are aware of yourself, and you are able to develop your social self, a positive outlook about your social self within your family, then you're not afraid to get out of your web, or you're not afraid to get out of your home and try to experience how others look at you in the outside world. So definitely when you have established your authentic self at home, then you will also be at home with the others in the environment, in your society, in the community. So what your the development of yourself within your home is a very good foundation for you to have that self confidence and self worth and self esteem to meet with the other social agents in the environment. So that would make up your social self. So you get to have maybe positive impressions from other people because you already have built your self belief or self efficacy at home. So definitely, that is very important. How you look at yourself at home, how your family looks at you, and because these values and these principles will make you be prepared to get out of your home. So when you face other people, or when you get into organization involving yourself into communal activities or societal activities, then you will be able to catch up with the standards the society has set over you without forgetting the authentic self that you have developed from your family. So, the self is an important tool with which the human organisms makes its way through human society and thereby manages to testify its needs. So therefore, you get to get involved with the standard of the society without forgetting your authentic the authentic needs of your own authentic self. And traditionally, the self was seen as representing stable, genetically determined character or later personality. But when this self is being brought out, then you'll be able to, uh, the authentic self will be able to evolve from that traditional self to societal self. So that means you can adjust, you can be flexible, adjustable, and adaptable to what is set in the society already. So that makes you prepare and that will make you healthy and live up a peaceful and harmonious life with the other living organisms on earth. Okay, so what we have here, evolving is a very the evolution of the self is a very important thing for everybody to know because you don't live alone. You don't live with your family forever. You live with other organizations, with other people in the society later on in your life. And later on, again, you will live with a bigger society, more than the society which you have raised from or wherein you were adjusted to in the next years of your life. So maybe you will be living in a broader and bigger society and more complex society, intricate society, wherein you need to be more flexible and stretch your authentic self into the different selves wherein the society is trying to make you come up with, so that you can still preserve and conserve your self-esteem, authentic self, while you adjust to the needs of the societal self, which is your social self. Okay, so basically, yourself, the singular self, when you were at home still with your family, can be changed into changeable and dynamic self. Then your singular self could become multiple or plural self. So you can also be like when you were in your home when you were in with your family, you were the lowest. You follow or you obey your parents, things like this. But as soon um, as you grow and try to mingle with the other social agents in the society, then you come to experience the hierarchical hierarchical self. So that means you grow from your like being a grade 1 to grade 2 to grade 3 to become a graduate and then get employed. So these things you are going to experience in the social self. And then there are a lot of there are a lot of influences outside from your society that could influence you in the different aspects of your life. So that means these are all contributory to the development of your social self. So you have to be mindful and aware of the things that you experience outside your home and in a bigger society or broader macrocosmic system, because these are all important in developing your social self. So from here, then you'll be able to come up with your social construct. Social construct, that means you'll be able to come up with your own self-identity, authentic identity, personal identity in a society. You can 100% give a distinction between your authentic self and the society where you are in. So you don't get loose. You don't get lost with living by yourself and by yourself living inside a system. And since your body or your the authentic self is a system, a small system living in a bigger system, which is your society, wherein this society is living in a bigger society, which is the macrocosmic energy. When you are able to give distinction between your small system and your micro system and your macro system, and then you will be able to live a happier and joyful and more meaningful and peaceful life. So that is the essence of trying to come up with a very intelligent understanding of the social self. Okay, so if you really wanted to diagnose before getting into the macro system, no bigger system or supra system, then you have to at least ask yourself, who am I? What am I prepared to? What am I? How am I to define myself? How am I to define myself in the society? How am I to define myself in a bigger society? And how am I to progress my advocacy, because that is your purpose. You cannot identify your social self not until you come up with your advocacy. What is your role in the society as using your authentic self? So that is very, very important when you come to develop and you come to understand your social self. Okay, so basically for now, these are the major things that we have to know about our social self. Thank you, class.